James, thanks as always for coming on the programme. Should we start with this attack on UNIFIL bases and peacekeepers in Lebanon? To what extent do you think this is an unacceptable line that's been crossed by Israeli forces?
I think it's by definition unacceptable. What does unacceptable mean? You just had the US UN representative defending the UN's position and UNIFIL. The problem is, and that's what Israel is banking on, that the United States, and that they're the key player here, are not going to act less than 30 days before a US election. What the Israelis clearly are trying to achieve is get the UN out of the way so that they are free to do whatever it is they want to do in southern Lebanon.
So what can be done by the international community? We've had condemnation from the United Nations Security Council. As you say, the main player in all of this is the United States. Is there anything world leaders can do?
The problem is that you've got, and this is not just with regard to the UN, but more generally, you have all of these decisions, including Security Council resolutions, but you don't have enforcement mechanisms, because the enforcement mechanisms essentially are United Nations members, nation states, enacting those decisions. In this case, primarily the United States, because it has, in theory at least, the greatest influence on Israel, but has not been willing to enforce that.
I mean, the world is waiting for a further escalation in the region, of course, James. Israel's response to that major attack by Iran last week. Do you suspect that how that plays out may well shape how this conflict plays out for the next week or two?
I don't think there's any doubt. Fact of the matter is that how the Israelis retaliate or respond to the Iranian missile barrage that hit Tel Aviv several days ago is going to determine how Iran responds. With other words, you're going to get a tit for tat. The question is whether you can constrain that tit for tat and control it, rather than have a situation in which it spins out of control and you get a much larger Middle East conflagration. What happens between Israel and Iran, without question, is going to influence what happens between Israel and Hezbollah.
James, always a pleasure to have you on. Thanks very much indeed. James Dorsey there live for us from Singapore.
Thank you.